Welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Nerd. I'm Captain Mizzy.
John is off tonight. He needed a good resting, relaxing day, so he is taking the night off. So we're gonna hang out together with us three. Um, Also, don't forget we have some cool stuff coming in. If you are a Patreon subscriber or a Twitch subscriber, you will be getting an episode of Pass the Paint Water this week. And it is free of charge just because you subscribed. But it'll be one of the things that are only for people that subscribe to channels and provide us with a little extra cash to keep our podcast running. We had to do a pretty big, I wouldn't say purchase, but we had to pay some fees to get things rolling and running different on this side. So we're trying to get more money in. We're not broke. Technically, we've got money and everything. So, okay. So everybody doesn't have to worry about it. We're just trying to get more things, like we want to pay an artist to do some cool things for us. But, we believe in paying artists. So we just have to get the money to do that. So it'll be a little bit before we can do that because we want to do some more icons and, all that stuff. So just going to have to wait. Today's episode, like I said, episode 272, we're going to be talking about what happens if you do no shows, not only just for RPGs, but if you have no shows at like gaming, like people said, you're going to have like 10 people show up to, a tournament, or, at a convention. That's also a thing. If you're running like an RPG at a convention, you have no shows at the convention, how long you should wait before you put everybody, let other people come in, especially if they've paid or not paid. And how do you add people in once something is started? And what happens when their campaign has started and someone can't show for the day? What to do on that end. And this is all inspired by events that happened this week. So we're going to be talking about this. But this all can go in with the topic we'll cover, everything from RPGs to tournaments to conventions, so on and so forth. So it'll cover every aspect. So other than that, before we get started, let's go ahead and get to the business. We want to thank Muse on Minis for hosting our channel and bringing out all the cool things and letting us bring you to the masses. I want to thank Parabellum War Games, the makers of Conquest. If you want to get into Conquest or you just want some cool miniatures, you can also use our affiliate link and go down there and get some really cool stuff. We want to thank Turbo Dork, makers of awesome metallic paints and turbo shifting paints. Also, the new, because everybody show it up, everybody can show them up, because I know everybody's got them. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Their silicone palettes. Look at everybody just kind of slacking off.
I have the old ones and it's dirty.
Yeah,
but
I have my new
I've
one.
been using this sucker.
Yeah.
No, V, he did not.
I did not warn them. They're new silicone palettes, and Mizzy has the old ones, but not a big deal.
I don't need new stuff. I can make old stuff work just fine.
They're awesome. Don't forget, you can get them online. We'll probably be giving away another gift certificate from them pretty soon, so be on the lookout. We want to thank Midnight Heroes. Midnight Heroes are making a chibi miniature maker. They also have a game called Dual Fates where you play with chibi miniatures. It's a miniature combat game. Also, I received the final picture of the limited edition Warfare Weekend chibi model based on the Mercenary House, which will be used in the game and sold at Warfare Weekend, named by Captain Mizzy herself.
Super excited.
Got to name the model.
The pirate named the pirate.
Yep. Our mercenary model is a Caribbean-based pirate. So you'll be able to see that. And you'll be able to buy it at the convention and also online for limited time type stuff. So I'll be doing a post on that on Warfare Weekend probably sometime this week. And possibly have one printed up for me pretty soon. And I can show the actual model off. But I want to have a physical copy before I show the stuff out. But there'll be that, and it'll be specific to Warfare Weekend. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Creature Caster. Hell,
Oh, yeah.
Creature Caster.
Which,
How dare
on
we?
our break, I went and got their mushroom terrain available on their My Mini Factory. So these are the mushroom trees.
Yes, they have.
Very fun.
For people that play Judgment, they brought out a mushroom theme based terrain that you can use with Judgment, and they're pre supported, ready to go. And actually, it was really good. It took me everything printed out very well. Didn't have an issue with it. So tried and true and tested. You have to print out a lot of terrain though.
Mushroom pillar.
Yep.
Yee.
And stuff. But it
Very
came
fun.
out really well. Captain Mizzy has now her own terrain now
Yes.
for Judgment. They also do the 5th edition modules that if you're in the chat, you can see they got 5th edition World of Reclamation, which is their own 5th edition world with 3D minis to go with each module every month. And
And
then
they will be having some games at Warfare Weekend as well.
yeah, they're running 3 of their modules
Nice.
at Warfare Weekend with miniatures and such, so people can play with those. And of course, Creature Caster with all of their awesome miniatures and the paint line, the Cuttlefish colors. If you haven't tried those out, you should. They're pretty damn good. I think I got everybody this time.
Okay, I think so too.
I think I got
I
everybody.
lost count. I was
Um,
like running it back through.
That sounds right.
Guys, you're going to have to give me, I apologize if you hear me sniffling. My allergies are so out of whack right now. So I'm trying to take some meds and get it under control. But other than that, do we have any shout outs this week?
I am not recalling any off
I
the top
don't-
of my head.
Nothing I'm
I
either.
didn't hear about anything.
No, we're going to give a shout out to the writer's strike, telling them stay strong and fuck all those people that are trying to be scabs and do whatever. These people need to be paid just like anything else. So we'll send one back for them. I don't think anything else. I didn't hear anybody. Not that nobody did. It's just a little bit different. Let's get to the real business. Captain Maisie, what are you drinking?
Kiwi strawberry water because I get to start new medication today. I've been waiting months and I finally got into the right doctor. So
Yay! I'm happy for you.
I'm very excited. Maybe I'll get to sleep again.
Nerd, what's on your drink of
I've
choice?
got Wicked Grove caramel apple hard cider from Aldi. I was there picking up some other stuff, saw that, and went, okay, I'll give it a try.
Nice.
It's not bad.
Very nice.
I like
All
it.
right.
It's good.
I've never been a cider drinker. There's just something about it. I'm just like,
I love ciders, but I grew up nearish an orchard, so
That checks.
yeah.
being that I'm on medication, mostly Sudafeds and stuff like that.
Little tiny moth decided to just what?
He's
Fly in
like,
front
I
of my
want to be
face.
famous.
They're just 2 seconds of fame. I will be drinking water tonight because I'm trying to get over my allergies right now. So having a good time with that. Guys, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you watching. If you're, joining us on anything, officially, unofficially, all 4 of us have a copy of Baldur's Gate now. So you might hear an episode of Pass the Paint Water where we're playing Baldur's Gate as a group. So we might hear about that. We have to do some more testing on someone's machine just to make sure that they can play without, it freaking out.
The whole thing.
But make sure you take care of yourself out there, guys. Like we always say, if you see something, say something. Sorry, V, you can't. You can't
Not
play.
yet.
Not yet.
Yet. Yet is a keyword there.
Yet. We're testing some stuff out still. Like I said, guys, if you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. If you can do something, do something. But please watch out for each other. Please take care of each other. Cheers.
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 Yum. Should have got a straw. Oh well. Chugging's fine.
We're trying to get Captain Mizzy's computer to play it. May run a little slow, or may run with. We have tested graphics out. It's not the best machine, but it's a free machine.
But it's better than what I had,
yes.
which was nothing.
Yay,
So.
upgrade.
So we'll be doing that. We may do some Pass the Paint Waters where we play Baldur's Gate and such, and have a good time. I may play something different since I'm playing a Paladin now. Let me go over to the paint. And, of course, the camera's not working. Yay.
Didn't you say you were testing that?
It tested it, and it went through. It just didn't like me this time. May have to switch something. Hold on. There's like a weird thing with the properties on this.
I swear that I'm just bad luck for for take issues for streams.
There we
I'm
go.
Just like, oh, camera goes down. Must be nerd.
Must be nerd. Oh, and Missy's.
We can blame me this time. It's fine. I had to completely reset up my my station in the pre-ramble.
In the pre-ramble.
Because things.
Because things work. Hopefully. How we looking on stream, folks? Because I've got a spinning circle of death. Okay.
It looks fine to me.
I see it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me switch this over. Cameraman. Gonna show off. So I finished him. Is he showing up okay? Oh, he's out of
Mr.
focus.
Bellman.
He's out of focus. Nice and pussy and green and yucky, but with a little bit of cool color on them, just to make them stand out.
And mushrooms.
And shrooms. So, he's done, ready for the table. Going to be working on Kane. Kane is a dick.
Yes. Fuck Cade.
And really,
I know nothing.
Kane, pretty much, he's just really, really good at beating people up, is all.
Kane runs up and beats your ass and then teleports away to safety. He's an asshole.
Yeah, he does
Fuck
do
Kane.
that. People that don't play Judgment, I'm playing the kind of like the demons of the world, and all of my things are demon based except for one model that I'm playing. And Kane is a melee guy, and he just runs up, beats up something, and then runs away. He's chicken shit like that.
He's responsible for many deaths.
Yeah, because he actually can.
Yes.
He can run up, attack everything in a big old circle, and then teleport away. And it's just annoying. If he has enough ability to do everything,
And steals monster kills from
he does not
other
steal.
harder people.
You just gotta learn to make sure that when you attack the monster, you kill the monster.
I need to make better dice rolls, which is my problem consistently with all my games. Thank you.
Type stuff. But ooh, my chair's way too high. Ooh. All right. Kane is a little bit blurry. All right.
I like the colors you got going so far.
Yeah, so I'm just going to dry brush all of this with white just to make it pop a little bit, and then the skull's a little bit of white. And then that's pretty much going to be the base because there's nothing on here but rock and skulls.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to do much on the base. The skin, I'm going to have to do, there's going to be highlighting the red up. And then the loincloth is going to be probably purple. But the sword is going to be black. And the runes are going to be probably green. Glowy green. So for the time being, I'm just going to dry brush up the rocks and the skulls. Just to make everything kind of pop and stand out. And such. But nothing big. Just want to get it. These are these are not going to go into a competition. I just want them good tabletop quality type thing. So not a big deal type stuff. But so let's go ahead and talk about no shows. So Nerd, why don't you go ahead and talk about what happened with you, and we can build from there.
Oh boy. So
Spoiler alert, she panics.
Thanks, Mizzy. Thanks.
I do it with love. I do.
Yeah. So I have been working for months now building a campaign. I've had a lot of ups and downs with this campaign already, losing my first co-DM, then finding a new co-DM who then ended up taking a job so where they can only help me write and build encounters, but they can't attend sessions. Then I have two parties. They're that I'm doing on alternating weeks. First group went fine. Everybody showed up. Like they had all been previous players. My second group, I had 2 players drop out the day before our session 0, and another one that still hadn't, committed or not. They had been very wishy-washy with me, and so I panicked, going, "Okay, I need to know what to get ready. I need to have characters built. What am I gonna do? I don't want to have like a possibly 2-person party. Like I lost, of the 5 players in that group, upwards of 3 of them. I didn't know.
I would have panicked too.
Yeah, I panicked. Yeah.
But then you came to the right people.
Yeah, then I vented to the people who I thought would listen and understand what I was panicking about, and then Mizzy thankfully joined my campaign and is going to be playing.
So, my only problem is that I forgot that you stream your games. It's not that I don't want to play.
It's going to be voice only.
That helps.
Yes.
But you stream your games, so I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get comfortable real quick.
Well, the cool part about all of this is you had mentioned, that you needed someone and, blah, blah, blah to do this. And I was like, I started asking questions. But the thing is what Mizzy is hinting at is I was asking the questions because I was setting Mizzy up to join you.
Because I know what he does and I know his system. He asks the questions, and then I'm in my own.
You get
little world.
voluntold?
Yes. So I texted him separately and I was like, "Are you thinking about joining Nerd's campaign?" And he said, "You are." Son of a bitch. I knew that was coming.
I wouldn't have the time. But I was like, Captain Mizzy likes to roleplay and likes to have fun. Yeah, Captain Mizzy, you're going to join.
Yeah, totally. It's fun. I'm going to have fun with it.
Yeah, no, it'll relax pretty quick, and believe me, there's plenty of other strong role players in the group. I'm not too worried. You do not need to feel like you need to outdo anybody. Do whatever is comfortable to you.
Oh no, she knows that, and she's gonna have a good time. She just was kind of like, God damn it, Gonzo.
like I said, kind of in the pre-ramble, it was a moving train headed straight for me, and I saw it coming, and I could not stop it. This is my life. So it's not a bad thing.
No. It was just I set her up and landed it in your lap.
So you're welcome.
Yeah. Well, Trey and I got session 1 kind of, or at least the first plot hook kind of worked out for one group, and then we got to solidify the one for your group, but we've got an extra week for that, so.
Yeah. Got time. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I came up
mean,
with the name before the start of the campaign.
I am proud of you.
I'm proud of me too.
Which, going back to this and what we were talking about, it is having people drop out. It's inevitable. You're going to have that happen. There's nothing you can do about it. People have changing minds. People, just don't want to play.
Life
you never
circumstances.
know. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it just happens. Whether you like it or not, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But you reach out to your friends and then go, hey, who wants to play? Type
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. Like, I had one person that had already expressed interest in playing. He had been helping me with a little bit of the world building, so had Kelly, actually. So they both have to pretend like they don't know anything.
I don't think that's going to be a problem for Kelly.
No, she's already derailed so much.
It's not a bad thing, though. I like that
No.
energy.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride on that energy.
Oh yeah. And Daryl is just as much of a chaos goblin, but in a craftier sense, less on the hyper.
I'm really excited that Daryl and I are playing Tieflings.
Yeah, I'm excited to have 2 tieflings. Like, we didn't have any Dragonborn. Nobody made a Dragonborn, but I'm excited at least a couple people made tieflings.
Dragonborn was my other choice. But I needed a Tiefling this time.
Nice. Tieflings are fun. Tieflings are a lot of fun.
So.
But yeah, but yes, thank you for coming to my rescue, and I'm excited to see where things go with this campaign.
Well, the good thing is you can always, I always crack up because as a forever GM, you can always find people that are willing to play. It's finding people that are willing to run is always the problem.
Yeah. And like, my rule of thumb, if you're gonna be a no-show, try to let the person know as soon as possible.
Yes.
Or if you're gonna like bow out of the game, just communicate, especially if said person is reaching out to you repeatedly.
That's
Yes.
a thing.
Be respectful of the GM's time.
Time is
Yeah.
precious. Don't waste it.
Type thing. But
But yeah,
one of the
it
things that we were
happens. Go ahead, Gonzo.
one of the things that we were talking about is when going to conventions. People pay for their spot most of the time, unless it's, a different type of convention that they don't do that. AKA Warfare Weekend, we don't charge for session. So if you're a no-show, you're not wasting money, but you're wasting that person's time technically, and you could have someone take that over, which is easy because if somebody's walking up, they're looking at the game and they're like, ooh, and like, hey, we got an opening, come and join us. Type thing. I don't know. Have you ever run any RPGs at a convention?
Not yet, but I helped at Adepticon. I helped a friend that was running one, and we had no shows.
And what'd y'all do with that?
Ironically, one of them brought a friend just in case, because he was curious to see if there was open spots, and the other person managed to recruit a friend.
Okay.
So we ended up with a full party.
Which has got to be kind of weird because they paid for those spots, didn't they?
No, it was, well, no, yeah, technically they did. It was cheap, but
Still, they
still
paid
paid
for it.
Money.
it. Yeah.
People still paid for it. Which is weird. I mean, if I pay for something, there better be a good reason why I'm not going to it.
I better
Yeah.
be dead.
Like it ended up working out that with the group that we had, but yeah, it was kind of like, okay, well, you guys knew each other, so they bantered really well off each other. These two guys knew each other, so they bantered off really well. And it ended up creating some very interesting dynamics because we wouldn't have had that had we had the original random table that we did. So like there was the thankfully we didn't have to adapt anything or like replan anything based on the number of people that showed up. We still would have run it regardless. It just would have been very different had everyone shown up that had signed up.
Yeah. So, like, my campaign that I'm running right now for my locals, we have people that, there's a group, quite a big group. But we also tell them, if you can't show, that's fine. I've got like this, they drag their body around pretty much is what it is.
People go into a coma.
Yeah. There's this NPC that pops up and he puts people in a coma.
And sleep, and you go to sleep, and you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a nap.
Yep, there we go. That's what it is.
And so that's how we handle it. How are you going to handle it if, like, somebody can't show up for, not that they're bowing out of the campaign, they just can't show up this time. Something come up.
What I do is, like, as long as somebody lets me know ahead of time, I can kind of plan for it, because I had a lot of turnover when I first started my Tribe of Idiots campaign, so I was used to having to change things a lot. I had to adapt on the fly a lot. But then when we started having a steady group, should someone, like, know they're not going to be there the next week, I can plan for that. If it's mid-combat, I try to come up with a reason for why that character is either stunned or like not present in some way. Like if they got like dropped into a hole or somehow magically teleported into the astral plane for a moment or something like that. Like I just come up with reasons why they couldn't be there. And then run it with whoever was there, as long as we had a minimum of like 3 to 4 people.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to have, in my opinion, if you have a party of 5, losing 1 for like a session isn't bad. Losing 3, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Losing 2, depends.
Questionable. But the more people, the better.
Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't have it happen too often where I was missing multiple people, unless there was like, okay, this person is like, should 2 people like live near each other and they're like, oh, we're going on a trip, yada yada yada. They're like, okay, you're both gonna be gone. I can at least plan for that. Again, like, that's one thing I've instilled with my parties is just like, if you know you're gonna be gone, or even if like you wake up and you're not feeling well, let me know as soon as you can.
Yeah, because you don't want to end the fun for somebody else because, one person couldn't show.
That's why I already looked at the schedule, and Warfare Weekend does not conflict.
Yeah, no, it kind of worked out that everybody was still available the same day as we had been running previously. So it was just a matter of alternating weeks to make it fit for everybody, so that I wasn't getting overwhelmed with 11 players in one party.
What?
Could not imagine. Pro DM, you're fine.
Oh, that's the thing is the Wednesday group I play in, we have upwards of 10 people at a time. Like he's had upwards of 10 players at a time because he started out at a place at a gaming tavern where the house rule was it's always an open table to anyone. So anyone can come and sit down. So he got used to running large groups on the regular. So when he switched to online, when the pandemic happened, I got used to playing. I joined the group because I don't live in Ohio, and I got to join, and it was my first time being in the group that large, and it got kind of overwhelming, but they balance it very well and make sure that every person gets a chance to shine when they want to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good balance to have.
Yeah. And that's what I strive for, and what I'm trying to work harder on in this campaign is being more immersive for my players and not just throwing chaos at them week to week.
What? Fuck that. Chaos reigns supreme.
Hey, that's what I did for 2.5 years, Gonzo. I also made the rookie mistake of giving out magic items like candy at way too low levels. Like, no joke, they had 7 to 10 magic items apiece.
Oh shit.
So I started researching. It took me months, but I started researching and finally figured out how to destroy magic items
Oh, yeah.
on players that are level 14.
Anti-magic aura is really good for that.
I did throw anti-magic auras around, but going up against a particular boss, I needed things to happen, and I needed casters to be able to cast on my side of the board. So, yeah, anti-magic aura was not an option there. But apparently, if you rip a bag of holding, it spills the contents into the astral sea.
Oh, yeah.
Wink, wink.
Oof. That hurts.
Yeah. Oh, I did have them get. I did Bagman. I did do Bagman actually. I did have them get kidnapped by a creature that lives inside the bag of holding. I loved giving them cursed items.
Oh, curse items are the greatest. Especially you don't tell them, especially they don't figure out that they're cursed until much later.
Is my magic item cursed, Gonzo?
I have no clue.
Probably.
Cursed items will be few and far between in my campaign. It won't be like every other player has a cursed item.
The fuck? What the hell's wrong with you? That's like. Never mind.
Well, one of the cursed items.
Some people are nice,
like,
Gonzo.
low magic setting, cursed items are going to be fewer and far between. Magic items in general will be fewer and far between. Like, I've been having to do a lot of research and figure out how I'm going to make this work when I did what I did with the previous campaign. I'm like, okay, I have to completely switch gears. And that's kind of what I did. Why I wrote this campaign the way that I did is to put me in a completely different mindset, but still have magic in the world.
Okay, I need to show something off on this model, and I'm going to have to look on it.
Course.
Okay, so this is a demon. So let me get really, really close. And it's a male demon. Let's see if I can get.
That is blurry.
They gave him Dinkley bits?
They gave him a dingly bit.
Oh my god.
Hold on. See it right there?
Skirt.
Above the skirt?
Yep.
See it?
Yep.
See it? He's
Yep.
got huevos.
Balls.
I
Kane-
did not get.
Kane's
I
got
did
balls.
Not get the anatomically correct night moose from Hack Slash Studios. I got the one that does not have dangly bits.
He's got huevos.
You're gonna have to make those red too, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to paint those red. Because they're not going to be blue, that's for sure. He's got huevos. Okay, sorry. All right, go ahead. You were talking about having models, and we're talking about demon balls.
hey, my character's created a meth skeleton at one point because I made the mistake of describing a a uh, a giant skeleton in armor covered in blue ice crystals, and they're just like, oh, that's obviously meth. That's a meth skeleton. And so it became canon that this giant. It was just a giant skeleton. That's all it was. Frozen skeleton is apparently a meth skeleton.
I can see it. I see it.
Yeah. Or let's see, what were some of the magic items in terms of like cursed versus not cursed. I think my favorite cursed item that I gave out was the Black Widow armor that changed the gender of the character, and they role played it for the rest of the campaign and corrected the other players on their gender identity.
That is so fun.
Because it turns you into a Black Widow, essentially. You end up sprouting spider legs, or the armor has spider legs. You turn into like the Spider-Man where he's got the big mechanical arms that come out, like kind of thing. But in this case, it's Spider-Woman. After the curse takes hold, once you attune. And then they ended up getting together with one of the other characters at the end of the campaign. It was adorable.
Yes. That's glorious.
Yes. But my favorite, I wouldn't call it a useless magic item, but a more innocuous magic item was the Robe of Summon Bread. The players, or the player that had that item made their own roll 20 or d20 table for what kind of bread they summoned from their sleeve. Whether it was like a bagel, Texas toast, focaccia, or tortilla. If you rolled a nat 1, it was soggy white bread. And they so desperately wanted something like that for this campaign, and I'm like, I will figure out something cool to give you, but I cannot give you another robe or like pants of endless pasta or something. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But it'll be fun regardless. So yeah, I don't know. What experiences have you guys had with people not showing up for conventions and whatnot?
Typically, whenever I've had someone not show up for convention, it's usually, if it's like a big con like Gen Con, you can use like generic tickets and such. But I've never run anything at Gen Con, so I don't know how that goes. But like for Warfare Weekend, if someone's a no-show, you give them a little bit, and 5-10 minutes, and then if they're not there, we let someone else take their spot. I mean, the game's got to go. I mean, there's been time where people are like, I'm gonna go get something to eat real quick and be right back, and it's like 30 minutes later, and you're like, dude, we waited, long enough. You gotta be here to play the game.
Yeah.
Type stuff, and there's just you can't hold up everything for one person, but you got to give somebody at least a little bit of time.
Yeah, like there was one person that we got a message from during Warfare Weekend last year where they were like, hey, we're running a little bit behind. We're like 10 minutes away. Can you let somebody know? And we were like, yeah, totally. And of course, then other people were late, so it all worked out.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Especially if they're like, hey, I'm on my way. We're only like 10 minutes out. Can you hold off? I'm like, yeah, we can hold off for a little bit. That's fine.
And then it turns out the DM got locked out of their hotel room.
Yeah. Oh no!
So again, it all worked out.
But you should say something, or if you're not going to show up, let the person that's running know, hey, I'm not going to be playing this. Sorry, I'm going to go do XYZ instead.
Yeah, and then somebody else shows up, and you can be like, yeah, we got a spot.
Like, I will be perfectly honest, I accidentally did uh a no call no show at to run a game at a con, but we had a death in the family, and so like my brain wasn't even thinking about the
Yeah.
convention.
Well, it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
that's one of those
Yeah,
circumstances.
but
though.
like they messaged me that day, and I messaged them right back, and I was just like, I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, I felt bad for all the people that probably signed up for that session, and then I wasn't there.
Did they refund them their money?
I hope so. I think it was free sign up.
Oh, okay. So that's free. You ain't gotta worry about
But
it. If it's free, you ain't gotta worry about it.
yep.
Yeah, it's mostly for the people that, pay for an event. Now, I've had people like, and the person like running classes, they'll have like 20 people sign up for the class, and the day before, cancel the entire class. And I'm like, really?
Poor
Really?
taste.
Ugh, that's not okay.
And then you have to refund the money because you can't blame them
Yeah.
because so and so decided not to show, and it's not their fault. Type thing. And it was like that. It's just bad form. Bad form.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nope. Ain't nobody got time for it.
No spoons available.
Now, when... I know this is kind of, I would say, a touchy subject, but when do you finally just kick people out? Like, you're running a campaign. When do you finally say, hey, dude, you haven't been here for... We're going to let you go.
If it's for like, if somebody needs to take an extended break, let me know. If somebody is going to be gone and not communicative, if they're gone for at least like, I would say 3 to 4 sessions in a row, especially, or if they're like inconsistent for like, if they're gone if they're gone more than they're there, then like you find your cutoff point and be like, okay, it's it if you're not going to be here, if it's wasting my time, it's wasting the other people's time for you to have to fill you in all the time, or whatever it is that's needing to be done, or have to like rework things because you didn't show up, or in the case of like say they're not other people are like butting heads with them. If like the group as a whole is coming back to you and be like, this person is a problem, then you take them aside, have a talk with them, and be like, I'm not sure this is working out, or you need to change your attitude, or whatever you feel like you need to say to that person, whether keeping them or not. But yeah, like there's a lot of occasions when that can happen. But yeah, if people are no showing, I have my limit of like 3 to 4 sessions.
That seems fair.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. That gives them roughly a month if we're playing weekly. If it's every other week, that's 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, because you can't continuously hold stuff for them until, you can't stop the campaign. Because if you do, you're stopping the campaign just for this one person. And then that gets annoying.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we all have that. And we all have the time where we're like, okay, I can't play this week. Okay, we get that. That's understandable. We get that people can't play every week or however often. But when you're only meeting like once a month, twice a month, missing 2 sessions is a long time.
Yeah.
So you've eventually got to say, yeah, no, you can't. I love you, but no. You got to go.
It's not a
somewhere.
personal attack. It's just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple times where people were causing issues in the group, and both times they end up stepping out before I needed to say something.
That's good. They realize.
But it was getting to a point where I was going to say something, and the next thing I know, they're like, "Hey, I think I'm going to step out of the group." And I'm really like, "Okay."
Good, you piece of shit. No, no, sorry.
No.
Don't ever come back here again, motherfucker. No. Yeah, because I mean that, and like I said, some people it happens. You know, you got people that you
Yeah.
know I can't continue to play, or hey, go ahead and just kick me out type thing, blah blah blah, and you got to do it. And you got to tell
Kill
them,
me and move on.
yeah, kill me, make me go away, whatever. Where's my null oil? Can't find my null. There it is. But I mean, people have got to know when it's time for you to just walk away. I usually 3 sessions, and then it's like, yeah, sorry, dude, we're gonna either backfill you or just kill your character off or just whatever. Because I guess I can always find someone that's willing to play. So that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah. The last time I'd had to look for players, like, I'd already gathered everybody and then accumulated more. And then now I had forgotten about this whole new group of people that I know from Twitch because I hadn't needed to recruit players since before I started streaming. So, like, people like Mizzy, I was just like, I hadn't thought of, like, oh, my Twitch community, there's players out there that would be willing to join and stuff like that. Or people that I know from streaming, like you guys, or Kelly.
Nerd, how many Discords are you in? You know nerds that want to play.
Yeah, hold on, let me count. How many folders do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 8 folders just to organize the ones that I'm in.
You know people.
So, yeah, I could have found somebody. I just panicked and couldn't think, and I'm just like, what do I do?
Brain freeze.
Well, I just didn't expect anybody to be able to join on such short notice. And that was my biggest worry.
That's fair.
Something you will know about me. That's my job.
Doing things on short notice.
And getting things done in a short notice.
Fair.
Yeah. And yeah, V is always down to play.
Aww, I love you, V. We definitely need to do an Oops All Kobolds again. That needs to happen.
Yes. Always. I support that chaos.
Yeah, that I think has to be probably my favorite. Having a group of people that have role played together was such a blessing for me. Like, you guys made my job so easy on that one shot because you were able to banter off each other because you know how each other play. Whereas all of my other groups before had been kind of random mashups of people that I know. So yeah, I would love to run, yes, another Oops All Kobolds in some way, shape, or form. Yes.
All the siblings, V.
Oh wait, there's a third. Are you guys triplets? Oh man.
I think that there's more than 3.
Rizdo. Razi, Isdar, and Rizdo. Oh no. Oh my. Sounds like fun though. I'm excited for that.
I'm sure there's more than 3.
Rizdo's the
honestly-
youngest. Isdar are twins. Isdar and Razi are twins. Okay.
It's like a horde.
It's goblins.
I'll get it.
They're
Trying to-
Oh,
kobolds.
kobolds.
Trying to keep the kobolds straight. It's a task.
Kobolds breed like rabbits.
Not wrong. And obviously, apparently, Rosie and Isdor's parents are no exception.
Oh, nice.
What'd they say? I can't see.
Rizdo is a
Rizzo is a
Drake
Drake
Ranger.
Ranger. I don't know what that means, but that sounds cool.
Yes.
Oh, they have a pet Drake. Oh,
Ooh.
I
Very
can just
nice.
hear. I can just hear you guys saying "glorious" in your kobold voices.
Glorious purpose.
Glorious purpose.
Glorious porpoise.
Glorious porpoise.
Glorious porpoise. Okay.
Now my brain is just playing "So Long and Thanks for All the Fish."
Yup.
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
Yee.
I think I'm going to hold right there on him. 'Cause I don't want to get started on the skin, because the skin's going to take a while.
Okay.
What are we at? What time are we at? Oh, we're almost time for media section.
It's close.
It's
You got
close.
like 800 things to talk about. It's fine.
802. Come on, get with the program.
I was trying to give you maybe a little bit of slack that,
Nope.
but
Deserve it or not.
well, it'd be like
My main thing about it is you're going to find people. Even if you don't think somebody wants to play, I will tell you that when I put a call out to say, hey, I want to do some online RPGs, so on and so forth, that I had to beat people off with a stick. It was bad.
Okay.
I had always had somebody that was willing to play. Always, I says, this is what I'm running. This is what it's going to be. What do you think? Who wants to play? And it was all over the place. All the time.
Nice.
put the call out. The people will come.
Yeah, people will come. And if you're doing it at a convention, if you're doing it at a convention,
Goofy
people are
Goober.
going to play with you at a convention. Especially if the room is out in the open where people walk by. And people are not going to be there, someone's not going to be there. There's going to be people that are like, ooh, what's this? And you're like, hey, sit down. You're playing. Type thing. There's always going to be people that are willing to play, especially RPGs. If you ever have,
Brian,
yeah,
get over here.
you just got to get people to come over and do it. AKA, people need to come to the weekend, the Warfare weekend. Media section, so we can look at that. But people will always be willing to play and do things no matter what is going on. Nose is all. Sorry. Need to quit doing this. So, if it happens, the one thing I don't like is when you set up like a tournament and people don't show. That gets me irked because they're either people didn't, people paid for it or people didn't pay for it, and you set up a spot and you've got people that are setting up a spot to do it, and you're just like, crap. I set up a spot for you to play in this tournament and you didn't show. Or what works for me more than anything is people that don't sign up for an event. And so say you set up a spot for like 10 players or 10 tables, so 20 players, and all of a sudden we only got 5 people, 10 people signed up, so you cut it down to 5 tables, and then 3 other people decide to show up, but they didn't sign up. And you're like, guys, I hate when people don't sign up for events. It's annoying as fuck. It's annoying. Sorry. So
Still
let's
get
go.
a rant.
Yeah, still get a rent. That's one of my biggest pet peeves as a TO and as someone that's run plenty of events is people that don't sign up for events and then complain when the events get dropped down to fewer amount of people. That just kind of irks the crap out of me.
If you want to play, sign up and show up.
Yeah. I mean, sign up and show up, but I mean, sign up at least. And then if you're not going to show, that's fine. But then we've got, a group of people there.
Yeah.
We know what to go for. Type thing. So media section. I don't have a lot this time because I was busy and sick most of the week. So I didn't get a lot of watching in, but I did get some stuff in. And a couple of things were what Mizzy watched. So we're on the same track on some of this stuff. And some things we listened to. So I'm going to go with something that Mizzy and I can talk about. And we listened to the book Fairy Tale by Stephen King.
Yes.
This is a very different version. It is not a spooky.
New.
It's new. It's brand new. This either like last year or this year. So it's brand new. It's a story about a kid that befriends an old man. And when I say kid, he's like 17. So,
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, he's like a 17-year-old, almost an adult. Befriends an old man, helps him out, learns that the old man actually, in his backyard, has stairs that lead to another world, a.k.a. a fantasy world. A fantasy world with, mythical creatures and so on and so forth. And he learns that in this world, there is an object that can reverse time on a body. And he inherits a dog that is dying from the old man, and he goes down there to try to rejuvenate the dog. Because we do everything for our dogs.
Because puppers.
Because puppers. This is a very different take. This is a very different Stephen King novel. It's not scary. It's not horror-based. It's spooky and creepy, but it's not, scary.
It's not horror and scary and murder and everything.
Oh, there's murder in here, but
yes, but it's not the normal murder of Stephen King.
Correct. I will tell you this: if I read the book, I would have had a good time reading the book. But the voice actor in this was fucking insane. He had so many different good voices. You could tell who the character was when he was speaking it. You could tell everything with the voice acting. It was done so well. Because, and I got spoiled by him because I went to go listen to a book that I've read, and I was like, I can't stand this voice actor. Get it? No, I can't stand it. And so he spoiled me when I tried to go to another audiobook. Because the person wasn't doing different voices for the characters, and the voices weren't right. But this one was good. This one was really, really good. It was a great fairy tale. It was a great story. It was a very unique. It was kind of a Eldritch Cthulhu-esque type, thing going on with it. But I highly recommend it. I give it like a half Space Herpes. Mizzy?
I would agree. Half Space Herpes. My favorite character was actually the old man who was voiced by Stephen King.
No, he didn't voice him. Stephen King voiced the videotape recording.
I was very convinced that was Stephen King doing the whole thing.
From what I understand, Stephen King only did the voice of whenever he was on the videotape.
That's one of my favorite parts.
Yes.
That voice was just fantastic.
Yeah. From what I understand, Mr. Bowditch on the videotape was voiced by Stephen King. Everything else was done by the other guy, and I can't remember his name. But it was, and what was interesting is I'm used to books that like, oh, here's this, fantasy world you're going to dive into from the real world, and it's like 2 or 3 chapters in, you're in the fantasy world. No, they played out the buddiness of these two characters and the camaraderie and the get together and the helping with each other for quite a few chapters.
Half the book.
Almost half the book, which was interesting because the last half of the book, the last half of the book went on for longer than I thought it was. I think it has been, the rights for the movie have been sold for this, but I think it would make it greater. I think it would be a better TV series than it would have been, like a 10 episode limited. Like a 10 episode limited would be really good, because you could do like 3 episodes of them getting into the world, and then from there on you could do, the fairy world.
Yeah. I am probably going to say his name wrong, but it's Seth Numrich.
Yeah, he's an actor also. He's done some acting too. But I actually looked up to see what books he's read also, to see if I wanted to listen to them, because he was just so good. I highly, highly recommend it. And if you like modern fairy tales, where, modern day people go into a fairy world, and it's not your typical fairy world or fantasy world, this is really it. And it's actually like a post-apocalyptic one in that. You
I'll
don't
check that out.
You don't start out, the good, happy, go lucky world. It's like, oh fuck, everything's screwed in this world, type thing. But
I'll have to add that to my list.
I like that one a
I
lot.
just restarted my Audible account.
Add that one to it. You'll like it.
Yes.
I'll add that to my wish list.
Nerd,
All
what you got?
right, I picked up A Court of Thorn and Roses. I just started the series, like I'm only like 2 chapters in so far, but it's has to do with the fairy realm, and the fairies are like evil and will hunt you down if they find you, kind of a thing. And they're considered very cruel, and it's about this girl who ends up being like taken to the fairy realm.
How did you like that? Because I've been seeing a lot of talk about it lately, and there's quite a few books.
Yes, like I said, I'm only a couple chapters in. I'm liking the way that they've written the character so far. I like it's from what the way it was described to me is. What did the librarian say? She said, "How much spice do you like in your fantasy?" This one builds it up over the course of the series, as opposed to ramping it up too early. So, like, I guess there is a level of romantic spiciness involved, but it's not one of those that like hits you in the face with it. It actually develops over the course of the books.
I heard that there's quite a bit of spice in this.
Is it lemony or lime?
I'm not sure. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm 2 chapters into the book.
You'll have to let us know.
They're still building the main characters. So now, but they write her what is it? Feyre is the main character. They introduce you to at the very beginning, and she's like hunting a giant wolf in the woods by herself, like in winter. And it's the descriptions and the way that it's written, like it draws you right in. So it's at least good writing so far.
Okay.
For now, I'm going to give it 1 space herpy, because I don't have much else to go on until I get further into the series. I've got it from the library, and I picked it up on Audible, so I'll be doing both at the same time.
That was I saw recently that they actually were trying to put that into a TV series, and I think it got canceled because of whatever reason that it actually got canceled. So I don't know. Gonna have to see.
All right, Mizzy.
Our other Audible book that I finished this week, Fourth Wing.
Who's that by?
Gonzo.
Hold
Hold on. I can tell you. I have my Audible thing up.
It is Rebecca Yarros.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I enjoyed this. It is not written for somebody like Gonzo in mind, at all. It's not. There are scenes that I know he skipped and I expected him to, and that is totally fine. But if you are a young adult in like your 20s, I think you'll enjoy this a lot more, especially if you like spicy scenes. But I enjoyed it. I'd give it 1. And I really like the interactions with the dragons and all the world, and that there are some plot holes, but I can get past it.
So the story of Fourth Wing is about a girl that is forced to join the Dragon Riders college, effectively, when she actually wants to join the Scholar Academy instead. Scribes. And she would rather be in the Scribes than be in the Dragon Riders because the Dragon Riders die a lot. Like everybody, like during the course of the story, people die during training all the time, constantly. Like you'll have 100 people will join and like 6 will make it through alive by the time it's done. It is being touted as the next best Harry Potter-esque type series and trying to be the new Harry Potter series. Because it is, young school. Now, everybody in this one are not, they're like in their early 20s. So it is real spicy, as in there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of death. There's spicy sex scenes. You name it. A lot of romance.
Very lemony.
Yeah.
Very descriptive.
Very descriptive. Like trashy romance descriptive. That's the part that I was like 30 seconds fast forward. 30 seconds fast forward. I get what they're doing.
And then I'm sitting at my desk like, that sounds nice.
But she does have problems with her world. Her world has a lot of plot holes. You can tell this is like the first time she's tried to do a world building type thing. And so there's problems with her world. She contradicts herself a couple of times. And there are sometimes you're just like, lady, we get it. She wants his dick. Let's move on. We get it. And it's like, and there's like a whole chapter of nothing but talking about how she wants this one character. And I'm like, 30-second fast forward, 30-second fast forward, 30-second. She still wants him. Yeah, we know that, and it's like, all right, get to the story, get to the plot type thing. But it was okay. It wasn't bad. I think there was, she's got issues with her world building, and everything is seen a mile away too. I saw everything that happened way before it happened.
I didn't see everything, but I also wasn't looking for everything.
Oh, I see it immediately.
Now, at the very end,
You're like my husband in that respect.
Yeah.
I didn't see the very end coming, which I kind of liked, but had I been physically holding it, I probably would have thrown the book at the ending because of what she did. Not a bad thing necessarily, but I definitely would have, that there would have been violence.
I knew what it was because I was like, she's dwelling
Because
on this
you're
subject too much type thing. And so I saw it coming. Was it bad? Not really. Is it geared to a certain crowd of people? Yes. Am I looking forward to the next book? Yeah, hopefully the next book is good. And hopefully they were past kind of the romance part of it. Because she really dwelled on that really, really hard. So, and that's kind of the reason why I'm also leery of the book you're reading right now, because I heard that there is a ton of hot sex writing in that one too. So I'm kind of waiting on that. Let's see, what else did I watch this week? I am catching up on a few series. Lower Deck started back, and I've watched a few episodes of that, and it's still Lower Deck. It's still kind of fun. The one thing that I watched, and it is ended this season, is Foundation. Foundation is based off an Isaac Asimov book and Apple Plus, and this is good fucking sci-fi. It was legit good.
That's on my list. I've heard one of my friends was talking about it, so I added it.
And this last episode was a big shocker. And a lot of things happened, and you're just like, yeah, this is really good. I can't wait for the more of this. I hope it gets renewed for another season. Because it didn't leave on a cliffhanger, but it left on a reboot type of thing. And when you see it, you'll understand. And I was like, this sounds really, really good. I can't wait to see it. This season, I will give it like a half to one space RPs. It was just great sci-fi. I mean, we're missing really good sci-fi now. We've got all the other stuff. We're missing really good sci-fi, and it was legit good. So, Nerd, what you got?
Wheel of Time Season 2.
Yep.
I'm now completely caught up with it, and oh my god.
So much better than season 1.
Yes, so much better than season 1. But they also had to. I also noticed they recast a character.
Did they really?
Yeah, they recast Matt.
I didn't notice
It's not
that.
the same actor. Oh, I noticed it immediately.
I did
was
not like.
That's. Nobody likes that character anyway. But, well, at
I
least
didn't know.
you're not meant to like him. But he doesn't get any less despicable this season, and I'm curious about these other political powers coming into play in this season. But I give it half a space RP.
I didn't realize they recast him. Did they say why they recast him?
I haven't looked it up. I just noticed that it wasn't the same actor, and
I mean, I'll tell you right now, season 1 to me was shitty. I was like,
I
if this
haven't
is
read any of the books, so I have no basis of reference.
neither have I. But season 1 to me was like a B movie fantasy series. It was bad. I was like, oh, I hope the books are a lot better because this sucked, and it was not done very well. Season 2 feels a whole lot better. I'm more interested in it, and I really liked it so far. Of what I've seen. So,
All right, Mizzy.
Thursday, I needed just a chill movie, and I decided I was going to watch a new Disney movie, Elemental.
Uh-oh.
It's cute. It's kind of there. But because of the little bit of a story that was there, Gonzo was bored to tears with it.
I wasn't bored to tears.
But because of the storyline with Ember and her dad and that relationship, I got in my feels and I cried. So I'd give it a 2. Like, it's not terrible, but it's definitely a kids movie. So take it for what it is.
Yeah, I watched it, and really there was no plot. The animation was fine. I'll tell you right there. Animation was good. There wasn't anything wrong with the animation. It was just like there was no direction. There was no anything to it. It was just there. And I was like, just didn't really care for it that much. It gets my, 2.5 meh rating. And I can see why it didn't do well in the box office and why it didn't do well, period.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that great. It was just there. It had to me, it had no heart. There was no plot. There was just there.
It lacked the things that make a good Pixar movie.
Oh yeah. It was not good.
Yeah.
There were some good parts, but overall it wasn't fantastic.
Yeah.
Gonzo?
What else
What
did
else
I
you
watch? What else was there? Crap. Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn on Max. The season finished, and
Oh,
the Harley Quinn TV series, cartoon series, whatever you want to call it, is a very interesting and unique Harley Quinn. And it should no longer be called Harley Quinn. It should be called Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn because they're a
Yes.
couple and so on and so forth. This thing was just a meh. Also, it was like nothing really happened and nothing was really there, and it was just, eh. It wasn't even that funny. Usually, it's pretty good funny stuff, but it wasn't that funny this time. It was just there, and I wasn't too impressed with it. So it gets this season gets a meh rating of 2.5. Just didn't care for it that much. Nerd.
I am watching something that Gonzo talked about last week, but I am just now getting to is Interview with the Vampire, the TV series, and that
Tell
has
me
been,
about it.
Oh, Claudia just came back. That's where I'm at. I'm not quite done
Ooh.
with the first season, but yeah, the casting has been fantastic.
Yes.
It took me a little bit. It took my husband pointing out that it was the guy who played Grey Worm in Game of Thrones that's playing Louis, because I didn't recognize him at first, and I was just like, okay. And then seeing his range of emotional volatility, like throughout the series, and his reactions to the interviewer, and that dynamic versus his dynamic with Lestat, and it's really well done. And I know Anne Rice has has her hands in it, so I am enjoying the kind of peek into American history, throwing it into New Orleans in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode and I was already sold on how amazing it was because I didn't have to look at Tom Cruise's stupid face or
Thank you.
or listen to Brad Pitt and his whininess. Oh my god, I hated it. I'm not
Kirsten Dunst screaming.
I could get past the Kirsten Dunst more than I could Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt
That's
because
fair.
I
That's fair.
don't like them as actors. I don't.
Yeah, I knew nothing about these actors aside from seeing one of them in Game of Thrones, but like the other actors are all new to me, and
Yeah.
the guy playing Lestat is fantastic.
Excellent casting choices all around.
Yeah.
Love every bit of it. I binged watched it. Like, I could not get enough. I devoured that stuff. It was great.
We've been watching like a couple episodes at a time because my husband sat down and started watching it with me, and this is the first show that he and I have watched together in a long time. That wasn't a Marvel series.
That wasn't a Marvel series.
Nerf.
Because I was just like, nope, we watched Secret Invasion and She-Hulk. But yeah, it's the first non-Marvel series that we've watched together in a while. And yeah,
So you're on.
I'm gonna give it
4 or
zero.
5? Yes.
I'm giving it 0 space herpes. It is so much better than the movie, and
I need.
yeah, the writing is so, and acting are both superb, and the costume designs. Oh,
Yeah, much better version. I enjoyed it a lot. I can't wait for season 2. And they've already started putting up stuff for season 2. There's going to be
can't
10
wait.
episodes, etc., etc. So there's a decent amount of stuff still coming out for it. There was... Where'd it go? There was something else I watched on Netflix. I can't remember what it was. And it's kind of bugging me now because... Oh, went on Netflix. It was on HBO Max, or Max now. I saw it on there, and I was like, huh, I haven't seen this movie in forever. And when this movie came out, I was in high school. And one of my high school friends did what this person was trying to do because it influenced him enough, and he was trying to be as cool as them. as cool as this person was. So, if anybody knows, this movie was called Pump Up the Volume. Pump Up the Volume is with Christian Slater, where Christian Slater is a kind of shy guy in high school, but runs a pirated radio station. And he is a perverted, sex maniac, but trying to tell everybody that the system's fucked up and you should, do whatever, etc., etc. And when this movie came out, one of my friends was like, I'm going to do that same thing, but instead of doing a pirated radio station, I'm going to do it over a CB channel. And I was like, really, dude? He's like, yeah, I want to be just like him and do all that. I'm like, whatever. And eventually it didn't do anything because it means that nobody listened to him, type thing. But as I'm watching this show, I'm like, this is not as good as I remember it. And, of course, this was in that heyday when Christian Slater was in every fucking thing. They were writing movies for him so fast that he couldn't make them quick enough. I still think Heathers is one of his best ones, in my opinion.
Oh, Heathers is so good.
Yeah, I think that's one of his best ones. But it really doesn't it doesn't hold up very well, for the simple fact that all these things don't matter anymore. But his message is still relevant. The system is screwed up. It's not meant for anybody to get ahead, so on and so forth. Break the norm. Don't do what everybody tells you to do, fight that shit. But what kind of really got weirded about it is I was like, I remember it, and I'm watching the ending, and big spoiler, he gets arrested by the FCC, and that's it. The movie cuts off. You're like, shit, what happened to him? You don't know what happened.
Jail.
He went to jail. I mean, I don't know what the laws are for a pirate radio station and, et cetera, et cetera. But I was like, and then of course, him doing it sparked a whole bunch of other people doing pirate radio stations and, starting a revolution. Is it still all right? Yeah, it's all right. Is it relevant anymore? Well, sort of. It's relevant in the fact that, the message is relevant, but it wouldn't matter today because, podcasts that do it all the time now.
Yep. Like, the technology is irrelevant at this point.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be as cool because anybody can do a podcast. I mean, all you need is, a shitty computer and you can do a podcast. So, is it still Christian Slater? Yeah. Is it fine? Yeah. It gets like a 2 because some of it is kind of creepy, but the message is still relevant. Being a teenager sucks. The system is against you, and if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you'll get, screwed over for it. So, other than that, but I gotta watch some more Christian Slater movies because I gotta watch Heathers because Heathers was one that was like, it was such a fucked up one, but so good. So, Nerd, you got anything else?
Nope, nothing for me.
Mizzy?
I think we covered everything.
Man. What else have I watched?
I've been filling my time doing other things that are productive to my life.
I've been doing a lot of writing and playing Palia.
I heard that's having some problems.
They did an update and then they needed to do a bunch of patches to fix said update.
Yeah, I heard that they kind of messed up on that and it kind of had some issues.
Yeah, it did. For a couple days.
Yeah, a lot of people were kind of ticked off about that. I didn't watch much of anything else this week. Like I said, I caught up on shows. Reservation Dogs is almost over with, which is still really good.
I've been catching bits of that. My husband's watching it.
I will tell you, I laughed so fucking hard about the bubblegum skit they did this season. And it's like 2 episodes ago. It's like 2 or 3 episodes ago, and they're like, these 2 adults are sharing bubblegum between them. She pulls out, you pull out a piece of bubblegum for someone to chew. holy shit, the outtakes on that, I was rolling. So they're doing outtakes at the end of these episodes, so don't leave the credits, kind of go wide. But there was, holy crap, there was some outtakes on that. I was laughing so fucking hard. Well, there really wasn't a lot that was happening, but I mean, it was. Let's see what else. We got a lot of shows, so preparing everybody. A lot of shows are going off the air. Very few things are coming back on the air. That's the reason why you're seeing a lot of new stuff on Netflix of old shows, and why AMC is now on Max. They're trying to keep people onto these channels because pretty soon you're not going to have scripted TV shows.
Yeah.
You're going to have nothing but the stupid, reality TV.
Because they can't be bothered to pay people what they're worth.
So, you watch what you can now. I'm going to try A Discovery of Witches, which is on AMC, but I've heard it's not that great, even though it went for 2 seasons. Most of my shows are pretty much going off the air, so I'm looking for some new stuff to watch. We still have Wheel of Time, Season 2, which has actually been pretty decent. There's a couple of things on Amazon, a couple other things on Amazon that I'm going to try to watch, but I'm going to do it. But we're running low on TV shows again. We're about to hit a dead time. And a dead time on movies and everything else.
I've got plenty on my list to catch up on.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
I won't.
I still have a season and a half of Owl House to watch.
Yeah, see. Already done with that.
And I have Dragon Prince, which I know you're already done with.
Yep.
I need to get Netflix back so I can watch Dragon Prince. I want to watch.
So, but I mean, we're gonna be coming on a downtime where we're not gonna have a lot to watch.
You can always watch One Piece.
I already watched it once. I don't see you watching it again.
No, that's not what I meant. You know it.
I can't stand the cartoon. The cartoon fucking sucks. I don't care what anybody says. The cartoon sucks ass. It's so horrible. It's so fucking bad. But other than that, guys, that is our episode tonight. We will. Let's see. Sorry, something came up. Nerd will be doing streaming on Friday. Probably changing the time up.
Nope.
No, you're not doing it this Friday. No, you're going to.
No, I'll be at DisneyCon.
Yeah, you'll be at Disney.
I leave Wednesday morning.
That's right.
So you get
And
me
I will
again
be back
next
in
Sunday.
Yes. Yeah, Miz will be joining us next Sunday with John.
It is
we'll be
me
doing-
next Sunday.
Well, I can't be you, but I can be me.
I know, I'm just teasing.
So, guys, please take care of yourself. Please look after each other. If you see something, say something. If you can do something, do something. And if you hear something, speak up about it, because we got to put an end to this shit. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm Nerd.
Captain Mizzy.
Good.
Where are we sending people, Gonzo?
Pyro Club.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Going to the Pyro Club.
Keep it all right.